Okay, mini Bundt pan peach cobbler cheesecakes. That is 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a half tablespoon of cornstarch. And I'm going to mix those together first so that the cornstarch doesn't clump up in the water. And I have a half cup of water, and I'm just going to add the dry mix to that with 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then you're just going to stir that up. And it's going to be thin, but it will thicken up as it's baking in the oven. And then I have 1 cup of frozen diced peaches here. I diced them up myself. And then for the crust, we're going to do 2 cups of crushed graham cracker crumbs. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, a fourth cup of brown sugar, maybe a teaspoon of cinnamon. I don't know. Depends on how much you like cinnamon. We're going to mix that up. And I melted 3/4 cup of butter, but I'm doing it in little small spaces because I don't want to add too much butter. So we're just going to keep adding it until we get the consistency we want with the graham crackers. And just going to keep mixing it. And I got to switch to my mama's big bowl because that bowl too small. But as you can see, it's still kind of dry. So we're going to go ahead and add the rest of the butter to it. And it's still going to be kind of dry, but that's okay because you have the juices from the peach cobbler filling. And you also have the butter that you use to coat the pan that's going to add moisture to it as well. So it will come out just fine. And as you can see, you know, it's still kind of dry, it's crumbly, but moist, I guess I could say. So yeah, we're gonna keep it like that. And now I have 6 cup Bundt pan. It's a mini Bundt pan, and I got some unsalted butter that's real soft. Well, somewhat soft, but I'm gonna use my little spread thingamajigger here, and we're just gonna, if I can get it off of there, we're just gonna use that to coat the inside of the pan. I mean, coat every part of the inside of that. You can use your finger, this little thingy, whatever is good for you, you can use it, just as long as you coat the inside. I would not use sprays because I've tried that once, and for me it did not work. Real butter actually worked. No margarine, real butter. So that actually worked better. It releases the crust better. So I'm just making sure everything is greased here. And then we're going to go ahead and add 2 teaspoons of the juices from the peach cobbler filling to each one of these. And it actually might be easier if you went on ahead and cooked the filling and then just added something to the bottom. Me, on the other hand, I like to do it this way. This is just how I do it. However it works for you, whichever is easier and better, please be my guest and do it that way. And if you do cook your filling before you add it to the bottom, please send me pictures, videos, comment, whatever you want. I just want to know how it came out. But far as me, I just like to do it like this. I work a little harder sometimes, but I love baking, so it doesn't really matter to me. So I'm just adding peaches, enough to fill the bottom. You don't want too many. You just want the flavor of the peach cobbler, but you don't want too many because it's such a small pan and you have to put the crust and the cheesecake filling, and you want enough of each one. So you want to be able to taste the flavors of each one. And with the extra peaches, I put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them until I'm ready to use them again. Now for the crust, I have a little spoon. Whatever works best for you, and you know, as far as putting it in here, do whatever works best. But I have a little spoon. I'm going to add some all around, and then I'm going to take the back of that spoon, as you can see here, and just gently push it up against the Bundt pan. Don't do it too hard. From my experience, if you press it in there too hard or too much, it's going to come. If it comes out all the way, it's going to come out hard. Like the crust will be really hard, or it doesn't come out. That's from my experience. Again, do what works best for you. But I just push it in there gently, and you're still going to get the, what you call it? You're still going to get the look of the Bundt pan. Because, you know, the cheesecake is going to expand, so it's going to push it in some more, you know, things like that. So again, just gently push that in. And I use the back of the spoon, and I put some at the bottom, just so I can cover the peaches and the juices at the bottom. And I just use my finger to press that down gently as well. And you'll see that here in a, yeah, just pressing that down real gently. And I'm gonna have to switch my phone over. But yeah, again, just press that down as gentle as possible, just enough to cover the bottom. And then once you finish this, we're going to put this in the fridge until we finish our batter. And that, the butter will solidify, and that's okay. So again, put it in the fridge, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill up my little pan of water and preheat my oven to 325 and put my pan in there so that it's already heating. And here I have 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, half cup of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, a 1/4 cup of sour cream, and 4 eggs, room temp. And the cream cheese is also room temp. So we're going to start with the cream cheese, and we're going to cream that just so it doesn't form lumps when we add all of the other ingredients. So we're going to cream that. Once you finish creaming that, make sure you scrape your bowl. I know people get tired of hearing me say that, but make sure you scrape the bowl because I just have lumps and stuff at the bottom. And here I'm just adding my sugar and my vanilla, and I'm going to mix that until it's mixed well. And then, again, scrape that bowl. And I'm going to add the sour cream. And when I add the sour cream, as I'm mixing it, I'm going to go ahead and add one of my eggs as well. You can see there. And then you see it's not all the way mixed. I'm going to go ahead and add one of my eggs. And then let that mix together. And sometimes the egg doesn't mix all the way for me, so I just take my spatula and just kind of fold it into the batter. And that's another thing too. I have to scrape the bowl after I add each egg, just so nothing is left at the bottom and everything is mixed very, very well. And I'm just going to add my eggs here again, and I'll add them one at a time. I'm just going to keep adding them. And that is it for the cheesecake filling. Now, if you want to add dry peaches to that, you can. I've done that before, and it was really, really good. If you want to add the syrup in layers from the peach cobbler filling, you can. I've also done that. It was really good. And I fill each of the little cups up to the top almost. And I put my Bundt pan inside of a sheet cake. Did I say that right? A sheet pan. That's what it is. My bad, y'all. Sorry. But I put it inside of a sheet pan. Because it doesn't fit in my oven right. I don't know why. But issues. That's okay. We're going to get these together. Again, I'm just going around making sure all of my cups are filled. And, I have somewhat of an even amount in each one. If you like to measure for things like that, you can. I usually don't. So, again, I'm going to bake these on 325. And I'm going to bake them for 30 to 32 minutes. And make sure you check after 25 minutes because you don't want them to crack. And as you can see here, they're done. And one did kind of sink in right here a little bit. That's okay. And I'm going to let these cool for about 30 minutes. And then I'm going to put them in the fridge for 2 hours. And here they go. I have a sheet of parchment paper that I put on top. And then I have a little plastic tray right there that I put on top of that. So that when I flip them over, they'll be already on the tray. I won't have to constantly move them. And I put them on parchment paper because the cheesecake tends to stick to plastic or glass. So I put them on parchment paper. It's easy to bring them off. And before I released them, I ran the back of the Bundt pan under really, really hot water. And I bumped it on the counter a few times so I can release it because it is sometimes hard to release. And as you can see, they were kind of dry. So I simmered the juices. And I simmered that until it became a syrup that I'm going to put around them just to add a little more moisture to the bottom of it right here. As you can see, yeah. And then I'm going to put those back in the fridge until I make my glaze. And for presentation purposes only, I'm going to add 3 of them to my little tray over here. It's a dollar tray from Family Dollar. I'm not fancy at all. I just want y'all to see my bacon. That's it. And now for the glaze, I have 1 cup powdered sugar. I use 3 tablespoons of milk and a cap full of vanilla extract until I got the consistency I want. Put it in a piping bag because I can cut that tip wherever I want to get it to run out, as thin or as thickly as I want it. So I just cut the little tip, and we're gonna glaze these babies real quick. Just like that. But however you want to glaze or however much glaze you want, please be my guest. I just want you to enjoy and be happy. I want you to have fun making these because I always have fun in the kitchen. So, like I said, whatever works best for you, I say do it. The only thing I would say, make sure when you're putting the crust in, make sure you follow that technique. Not to press it in too hard. gently, you know, you got to be gentle with your sweets. You be gentle with them, and they'll give you everything you want. Kid you not. Just got to be gentle with your sweets. But I'm just glazing. I'm going to take them outside so you can see it better because the lighting in my kitchen is the worst. But that's okay. So again, I'm just glazing them a little bit. And as you can, there they go outside. They are so beautiful. But these are the mini Bundt pan peach cobbler cheesecakes. I hope you